Hi and welcome to YouOn2. I'm Kevin O'Neill. As you can see, I'm working from home like so many of us are. I'm the host of the show, but I'm certainly not the star of the show. As you probably guessed, it is you that are the star of the show. Over the next half hour, we hope to... It's the boss. Hello? Yes, the show is very important to me, boss. It's the boss. He said I should dress like it's important to me. Oh, all right. Keeping things classy on the weekend. Oh, thank you very much. So this show is going to be about you. We're going through a weird time right now, obviously, so we want to inspire you. We want to make you laugh, and we want to make you the star of the show. Well, I know when Jimmy Fallon took over The Tonight Show, the first guest was Will Smith, and Seth Meyers' first guest ever was George Clooney. The YouOn2 first guest ever is this handsome fellow right here. There he is. Oh, so handsome. Even though he's about to hit the big 4-0. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate it. There he is, Ralphy the Tortoise. He's a tortoise, not a turtle, right, Kelsey?
That's right. Yep, Ralphy's a South American tortoise.
Here with Kelsey, and then Ralphie in the middle, and then Christian from the zoo. So first of all, yeah, so tell me about him. Does he have a personality?
Yes, Ralphie's very friendly, very inquisitive. He's always looking for the next big nothing in his exhibit. He interacts with his female counterpart.
Oh, no problem getting him out of his shell, so to speak. I mean that as a saying only. That's right. Exactly. How does a tortoise show emotion? Just like being active and moving around, or smiling, or waving? What does he do?
Yeah, to me, he just obviously comes out of his shell and he seems to kind of move around a lot, trying to just see everything really close up when something catches his eye.
Do the animals? Is there a favorite animal? What animal got the biggest kick out of him? Do you think?
I think the polar bear Luna did.
Oh yeah.
She enthralled with him, and she kept bouncing up and down out of the water. So to me, she seemed the most interested in him. She's a big, camera girl.
So this big guy's almost 40, huh?
Yeah, so Ralphie is actually 37 years old. He came to us as a donation to the zoo. People do have them at the time, so that's what we believe he came from.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's a super old guy, but he's still kicking like he's 4 years old.
So we took him around today, Wednesday. It's a cold day, and so that made things a little tougher for you guys.
Yeah, we went to some of the indoor exhibits. So he got to see. I think we just saw the Canada lynx. That he just had an encounter with the Canada lynx, and we went in with the gorillas again. And I think we're gonna go to giraffes in a little bit and see what happens there.
Very cool. The animals got to be wondering where the people are.
Yeah, I think they're still just more interested in where the food is. Most of the animals, I don't think. Some of the animals care, I think we care more about where the guests are, because we miss everybody. Because the people, our guests, are what make the zoo here, and if we just hope to see everybody soon.
Any more animals gonna take a tour of the zoo? Any plans for anybody roaming around?
I don't know if we have any plans yet. Right now, Ralphie's kind of the star for now, but stay tuned. Maybe we'll have something like that.
He takes a slow tour too. He's not gonna get away from you.
Yeah, he's not hard to keep track of.
Thanks to Ralphie, and thanks to Christian at the zoo, and of course thanks to Kelsey as well. She's a real keeper. This is cider. This tie is ridiculous, isn't it? It's my St. Patrick's Day tie. One thing I've learned about myself over the past few weeks, I really, really, really miss having a real St. Patrick's Day. I asked people on Facebook and on Twitter, what are some things you really learned about yourself over these past 4 unusual weeks? We got some, not a high quantity of responses, but some high quality responses. Starting off with Brian. Brian learned that he has a ton of unmixed socks, and his 2 daughters go through a ton of toilet paper. Brian, if you need some, I got like 17 cases in the garage. Teresa learned that she hates being alone. Jen learned that she really, really likes hugs, and she misses giving and receiving them. Jen, I'm right with you. Bring it in. This is as close as I can get. Kathy learned that her dog likes dressing up, And then she admits, maybe he doesn't. He might be plotting our deaths. Look at him. I think he's up to something. Jen has learned that she hates work and doesn't ever want to go back. Vivian, though, has been taking trips with her husband, long rides, and they've reconnected after 30 years of marriage. We do not take each other for granted. We appreciate each other every day we have together, and I believe we are stronger and more in love than when this whole thing started a month ago. Pretty heartwarming. And then right after that, a comment from Debbie saying, I really don't like my family. Debbie, we have your contact information, and Dr. Phil will be contacting you shortly. The best response was from Andrea Bradley. What did she learn about herself over these past few weeks? She learned she can create life. Congratulations to Andrea, her husband, and welcome to the world, little Henry Harris Bradley. Born this week, already on TV. Took me 24 years. 4 years of college. About $80,000. Meanwhile, Henry's like, put me on. Here. All right. Welcome. You're adorable. Coming up, the YouOn2 Week in Review. You've sent us some really heartwarming and humorous pictures and video over the past few days, and we're going to share them with everybody else. Plus, a tour of the National Comedy Center in Jamestown. That's coming up. And cheers to you. Welcome back to YouOn2, a humorous, heartwarming half hour about you, Western New York. By the way, if you would like a transcript of today's show, simply write down everything I say. Anyway, it is time for the YouOn2 Week in Review, and this week obviously started with Easter. We asked you to send us pics and videos of adorable kids getting their Easter baskets, and you came through. And let me tell you, this is it's a strange time in American history. Things are temporarily very, very different. And honestly, just seeing these young Western New Yorkers enjoying this annual tradition, as a dad, it brought me a lot of joy, and hopefully it does for you too. I will tell you, I think the Easter Bunny is getting a little lazy. I remember it took me half hour to find my basket. It was in the garage one year. I remember it being in the dryer. Look at this kid. Look how easy. On a chair in the dining room? Come on, Easter Bunny. Step up your game. We also loved the grown-up pics, and of course the obligatory pet Easter pics. They're all amazing. I have not taken one good picture of my dog in 5 years. I don't know how you guys get all these great shots, but you did, and you sent them to us, and we thank you. There were a few pictures that really caught my eye. One is of the Collins kids, and I contacted the family. Is Stephen aware that he is in fact holding a trash bag? It turns out he is. In fact, his basket was in a clean trash bag, hiding among the other trash bags. Very clever, Easter Bunny. The Easter T-Rex made an appearance, as you can see. Thanks to the Flintstones for sending that one in. This young lady got an amazing Easter basket, which is not surprising, seeing that she is holding the Easter Bunny hostage. Look at him. The Easter egg hunt is, of course, a tradition, but I've never seen one like this. Look at this egg! Is that an alien? Little girl, put that down. You are in danger. Run! If you're from Buffalo, you know the day after Easter is Dingus Day. If you're not from around here and you don't know what Dingus Day is, I don't think I can explain it. It's like a Polish day of partying. Well, I guess I can explain it. Anyway, here are some great pictures that you sent us. Obviously, all the events were canceled for Dingus Day, but you sent us some great pics. You came through. Here's me and the missus. I married a nice Polish girl. Melissa channeling her inner Rosie the Riveter. Ronnie staying safe and staying awesome. Thank you. Deirdre showing her Polish pride. Nick sent us this pic, and if you look close, the little guy is holding a Polish falcon flag. So after further review, we do accept it as a Dingus Day pic. Jennifer sent us these adorable kids. Well, she didn't send us the kids. She sent us a picture of these adorable kids, and we thank her for that. My favorite was adorable little Quinn. Look at her. It is the first Dingus Day for this little perfect Polish princess. All she needs is a little butter lamb next to her, and oh, never mind. She's got one. So when I described the format of this new show, people say you're going to try to be like Kate. And I said, no. First of all, and second of all, Kate is trying to be like me. It's super obvious. If you put us side by side, she's basically a smaller, less hairy, harder working, more talented version of me. I think my coworkers will agree with me on that. Anyway, her show is it Most or Most? Is it Most Buffalo? Is it? Yeah. Most. Talking to a lamp, by the way. Most Buffalo, 4 p.m. Weekdays. She does daily challenges, and she challenged her viewers to send her pics of their spring cleaning and the most unusual item they found when they were spring cleaning. Take a look.
Finally today, some time ago, a viewer wrote in and said with all the cleaning binges and organizing sprees going on that she wondered if people had unearthed a lot of curiosities or oddities in their homes, that might make a good, feel-good challenge of the day.
I may regret it immediately.
So today, I went online and I asked you to share your weird stuff.
Okay, bye.
And then I crashed into a shelf. Everything's fine. So, without further ado, one thing before we start. You guys have a lot of gnomes. And some other pretty interesting... You know what, let's just go ahead and roll it. And that is your Most Buffalo Feel Good Challenge of the day. I'll see you next time.
Well, we obviously love our gnomes. Okay, Jerry Seinfeld, Jim Gaffigan, John Mulaney, the Smothers Brothers, Brian Regan, some of the funniest Americans ever. They visited a Western New York attraction, and they're going to be on the next segment of YouOn2. Stay with us. Welcome back to YouOn2. I'm Kevin O'Neill. Well, it's tough times for all of us, and it's tough times for feature reporters too. I've made a long, mediocre career telling you to explore Western New York and get out of the house and check this stuff out. And now me and everybody else were saying, never mind, stay in the house. Don't go to any of these places. So what we're going to do with this show, when we have to and when we can, is we're going to bring the attraction to you. Okay, we had the Buffalo Zoo earlier. This time around, a gem of an attraction in Jamestown, the National Comedy Center. When it opens again, please make sure you visit it. And while you're home watching this, count all of the stars you see in this piece.
The thing that makes comedy so significant, especially in the States, is it's one of the few things that Americans, we really invented this as a world. This should be here, you know, to really show the world what we've done.
The National Comedy Center is the United States official cultural institution dedicated to the art form of comedy. It was Lucille Ball who said to her hometown of Jamestown, New York, "Don't just celebrate me, don't just relish in I Love Lucy nostalgia, make Jamestown a destination for the celebration of all comedy."
The National Comedy Center is important because it is a repository for the work of the comics who have come before me and the comics that will come after me. In a sense, being able to tell the story of these comics individually and be able to tell on a much grander scale the story of comedy.
You know, it's not just about recognizing Richard Pryor and so-and-so and so-and-so and look how great they are. It's like, this took a skill. This took application.
I like a thing that takes comedy very seriously in sort of the art form of it. There's ways to take comedy seriously that I find too much, but this is really about the actual craft of it, and that's what's amazing about the National Comedy Center.
Yes, you can see the finished product, you know, and you can play with it, but the conversations around the craft is about the craft and how there's so many different approaches to the craft. Someone like my dad, who collects little pieces of paper for years and months until he's got some sort of a big enough pile of them to make them into a 10-minute essay. Stones concert. Yeah, when I go over there to the exhibit and see it, it's immense pride.
I don't like technology. I never liked museums where you have to punch things, but here, it's great because you get your profile of your influences and stuff to bring exhibit to exhibit.
Sitting in the stand-up comedy club.
We've got a match for abrasive humor.
I wouldn't mind having that on stage to see if I could read the crowd a little bit better of who's in the crowd. Everybody should get one of these wristbands when they come to a show.
The interactive nature of the displays where you can put in a name and you can see basically a genealogical chart as to how everybody's connected, whether it's from Second City to SNL to SCTV. You see over here, Lily Tomlin was on Laugh-In, and the reason Lorne is there is he produced Lily Tomlin specials. You're a part of the experience as opposed to only seeing Harpo's hat.
One of my favorite things was they have this table of props. I don't even know how they put it together, just like technically. And I got this guy.
I've recently made
ridiculous. Like, how is this even possible?
I enjoy doing the thing where you can do comedy karaoke.
Hey everybody, I'm Brian Reagan. I'm sure you've been at airports with the moving sidewalks, right?
I was able to do my act, and I didn't know it as well as I should.
Pretend things are bouncing off your forehead. And I've seen footprints together in a park. And you still have people riding that left-hand row. It's fun to fly.
If I don't know my act, then I've got to work on my career.
The National Comedy Center is about really having a trusted home for my father's legacy.
We're so happy that we're part of the museum, that people respect it. We didn't know we were going to get the respect that we got. What a great tribute, and we're glad to be part of it. It's the Library of Congress of comedy. Only unlike the Library of Congress, it's f***ing funny. Bleep f***ing, okay?
You have generations that can freely access and pursue different types of comedy, so having a National Comedy Center almost is a necessity.
I've seen 40% of it, and it's overwhelming. It's great.
This museum is incredible.
It's fantastic. It really is.
It celebrates laughter. But it's more than laughter. Okay, I'm wrong. Why would I leave here? I could live here. Get me a couch.
We are not done. More of YouOn2 after this. Welcome back to YouOn2, and now it's time for a Culture Corner. I'm just kidding, we're not going to have that. But this piece would probably fit into that. It's about some talented Western New Yorkers that found a new way to get together. Here's Lauren Hall.
With their concerts canceled until at least May and with no orchestra music to rehearse, the musicians of the BPO are finding creative ways to keep their chops up. Ever since social distancing began, the orchestra has been sharing videos of what the musicians are practicing at home. Some of them are playing solo, others with family members, or some for their pets. Principal violist Caroline Gilbert is one of the musicians leading the effort to collect and share the videos. She says she and her fellow musicians enjoy the opportunity to share different kinds of music with their audiences, and they recognize that it can have a healing quality for people right now.
I think people think classical musicians only listen to classical music, but that's definitely not the case. We love all kinds of music. You know, now we get a little bit more freedom now to show, what our personal interests too.
The orchestra rolls out new home videos on their social media channels periodically. We have them all linked with this story on WGRZ.com. And finally, they want to thank the community. They said so many of their patrons who had bought tickets to those now canceled concerts decided to donate the money from the tickets back to the orchestra, which in part is helping to pay the salaries for the musicians. Reporting in Buffalo, Lauren Hall, Channel 2 News.
Well, thanks for watching the first ever YouOn2. If you like the show, I'm Kevin O'Neill. If you did not like the show, I'm Pete Gallivan. Anyway, the next show we're going to have some kids behaving not so well. Now that we're all kind of stuck inside, there's a locally started Facebook page. Okay, it was my wife. It's called Quarantine Kids. It's already got some funny pictures on there. If you have some kids in your family not behaving so well during this quarantine, during this time, find the Facebook page and upload your pictures to that. We'll use them on our next show. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, Kevin Buffalo, as well for more information on the very next YouOn2. We're going to leave you with your local moment of Zen. Your local news is next, except on the West Coast.